Season of the Splicer is nearly here and it's going to arrive tomorrow at daily reset time. But we've got a decent preview of the patch notes from Bungie, giving us a sneak peek of some of the changes coming tomorrow. So today I'm going to go over the patch notes preview for update 3.2.0 as we get ready for Season 14 to drop tomorrow. If you find this useful or you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content and turn on notifications by hitting that bell. Well, Bungie updated us in This Week at Bungie last week, and they said, so each season brings opportunities to address long-standing feedback items or even make some back-end changes to prepare for bright futures. Destiny 2 Update 3.2.0 has quite a few bullets in the change list, but we'd like to highlight a few things that we're pretty excited for, so let's dive in. So first up, we've got abilities, aspects, and fragments. So first of all, we've got colorblind support, so Stasis abilities now have colorblind support, so enemy crystals, enemy squall, and enemy bleak watcher. So player highlighting in the Crucible now has colorblind support. So we've got some subclass tuning, and first of all we've got hunters, so the freeze detonation from silence and squall has been reduced from 12 meters to 8.5 meters in radius. An enemy squall now has a red ring to define the area as it approaches. For Titans, we've got Shiver Strike melee energy is now refunded when Glacial Quake ends, and fixed an issue where players can trigger Whisper of Torment while standing in an opponent's barricade. For Warlocks, we've got a couple, so first it's Shadebinder, where Bleak Watcher aspect now grants 2 fragment slots, and with Chaos Reach we fixed an issue with Chaos Reach Super that was allowing it to penetrate some thin walls or objects enough to damage and kill opponents on the other side. So that one is going to be really, really good news. Regarding future tuning plans, we also wanted to pull a word from Sandbox Discipline lead Kevin Yanis. So Kevin says the Sandbox team is working on a slew of tuning updates over the next few seasons, and we are aware of key points of feedback in PvE and PvP. In update 3.2.0, we've got a few minor changes to Stasis Hunters and some bug fixes that you will see above. But here's a quick list of some of the key places we're actively looking at for the future. So Stasis Freeze, slow accuracy penalties, and Whisper of Hedrons. And we're going to share more with you soon. So next up we've got Nav Mode, so separated bounties from quests in Nav Mode, and all bounties now appear in Nav Mode, and they can no longer be tracked as a result. Category switching on keyboard and mouse can now be controlled with a scroll wheel, and track triumphs now appear in its own Nav Mode category. Next up we've got the user interface. We've got legends added to the Director Destinations tab, and this is where you're going to find Vault of Glass in just a few weeks. There's a shortcut between the HUD quest step notifications and the quest detail screen added for keyboard and mouse users, and 6v6 Crucible activities had an updated intro experience. And you can cycle through your teammates to view metrics associated with the activity you're entering. Next up we got the Helm, so the Helm now appears in the Director Destinations tab, moved from the Tower map, and it has its own map. Next, focused Umbral Engrams and Prismatic Recaster. So Umbral Engrams now auto-decrypt when focused via the Prismatic Recaster, and the visual states for focusing options on the Prismatic Recaster have been streamlined to reduce visual clutter and confusion too. Next we've got changes to Glory, Valor and Infamy, so these changes are a precursor to a larger set of improvements planned for Season 15, e.g. introducing Vanguard Reputation, rebalancing Infamy to bring reset in line with Valor, and more. So we've got more information on those changes in a few months. So Glory, Valor and Infamy reputations have had their internal systems rebuilt to a unified implementation, so in-game players should expect minimal perceived changes. Unified Glory, Valor and Infamy rank reputation tracking. So before Forsaken, Glory and Valor had only major ranks, so Guardian, Brave, etc, etc. After Forsaken, Glory and Valor gained sub-ranks, i.e. Brave 1, Brave 2, Brave 3, etc, alongside Infamy. However, all the historical tracking, so lifetime ranks and the quest usage, still use the original major ranks. Now the sub-ranks are simply referred to as ranks, and all usage has been converted to use them where appropriate, e.g. all lifetime values and quest targets have been multiplied by 3. Glory playlists no longer block Valor win streaks from declining, and the Valor badge now appears in the Trials launch screen. Infamy win streak bonus is now linear, so it's plus 35 points per win, and Glory win streak bonus is now linear too, with a plus 20 points per win. So with the eventual update to Vanguard Reputation, players should be ready to spend their Vanguard tokens in Season of the Splicer, so get ready to go on a spending spree with Valor. Next up, we've got the Eververse store, so Eververse archive filtering, so players can now easily filter the offerings in the storefront archive tab. and per numerous community requests, we added many exotic weapon and armour ornaments from previous seasons to the archive tab. So Bright Engrams have got a few updates. The spawn effects and shaders are now standalone items in Bright Engrams, and Bright Engrams can no longer decrypt into duplicates of these items. And a small amount of glimmer will be awarded when decrypting Bright Engrams. We got some general updates too. Some momentum control and Team Scorch have returned and be available as part of the weekly players rotation. Added repeatable bounties to Shorehand in the Cosmodrome, and fixed an issue causing vaulted gear to erroneously drop from Strike Unique loot lists, and added a full suite of trace rifle focus armour mods to the game. So patch notes, they're planned to drop in full around 10 AM PDT tomorrow on Tuesday, right alongside the release of Season of the Splicer. And one more thing before we go, whilst the following won't happen in update 3.2.0, we do have some news concerning 2018 and 2019 Solstice of Hero armour glows. So in the April the 22nd TWAB article, it was stated that glows for these armour sets would not be supported by armour synthesis due to technical issues, but since the new 2020 ornament mechanics were well received, we're able to rework and rebuild how 2018 and 2019 glows worked to address the community request. So our current plan is to make these glows into universal ornament sets like 2020 Solstice of Heroes universal armour ornaments, but this fix will have some limitations. So these ornaments will not be updated to support stasis, but will support solar, arc and void subclasses. In addition, the granted ornaments will be for the legendary armour sets for each year only. Players who acquired any subclass type glow for that year or slot will receive the corresponding legendary universal ornament for all three classes. And we were hoping to have this fix deployed by Solstice of Heroes 2021, but we cannot yet guarantee the date, so stay tuned to a future TWAB for additional information. So I do have some final thoughts on the patch notes, and there's a couple of things in here which I am really liking. So first of all, the return of momentum control, and this is a great Crucible game mode, and always useful for getting quests done in Crucible. So with the Crucible seeing little love next season, it's good to see this game mode coming back. So we've got plenty of updates to the Helm, and there's growing rumours that the Helm is going to turn out to be a massive ship that's going to take off at some point in the future, allowing for a quick escape with humans and perhaps now Fallen from the last city. And it's good to see the updates to Umbral Engrams, because that whole system felt overly complicated in Season of the Chosen, and it's good to see some tweaks and updates too. Well, the new Nav Mode looks great, and it's a welcome UI improvement. It's great that we can see more than 3 bounties. So previously it was useful, but it wasn't really quite where it needed to be, and I think this is a really great update. And finally, Stasis continues to be nerfed and tuned. Hopefully we're going to see a rework of the light subclasses sometime soon, but the Stasis lesson should be learnt with future Darkness subclasses in mind. Stasis was so overpowered on release, and it continues to push players away from PvP. Personally, I don't really tend to use Stasis that much, and I find the quest to unlock the aspects and the fragments erroneous. I'd like to see a middle ground between what we have now and the light subclasses. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think of the patch notes preview, and let me know what you're excited for in Season of the Splicer. We're just under 24 hours away from the new season, and I tell you what, I'm super hyped for Season 14. Well, that is it for the patch notes preview for Season of the Splicer in Destiny 2, and as always, thank you so much for watching. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. If you want to join the community, check out the Discord link in the description, or you can follow me on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. See you in the next video.